registered at the Fulbright 2 years ago when I was in San Francisco on my J1 for the summer. The County Mayo Irish language officer had contacted my mother to let her know that, to let her daughter know, who was interested in Irish, myself, that there are opportunities available for people interested in teaching Irish abroad to go to America to teach Irish to Americans. So that was the first time I heard of it. Then I did my master's in UCD, and our lecturers in the master's programme, Scríbhneoireachtas Cumarsáide na Gaeilge, were very eager to encourage us to go abroad as well with Irish.
I had seen actually advertisements in the paper for it, and when I was in NUIG at the time, there was a lot of posters around. I had spoken to people who had been on Fulbright, so it seemed to be everywhere, just staring me in the face. So it seemed like an opportunity that I just couldn't turn down. I had to apply, so I said I'd take a chance and see how it went.
The application process is quite challenging. It was a bit daunting at first. You need to take a lot of time to go through the different essays. There are several different types of essays: personal essays, why you're interested in Irish, why you're interested in teaching, why you would be suitable in America. And it's really just, you have to do a bit of research. You have to research Fulbright online, you have to research teaching Irish in America, and you have to know what they're looking for when you go in, and show off your best attributes and your experience, and tailor it for your interview.
It's tricky, it's quite difficult. You do have to reflect a lot on why you are applying for the award. You know, why would you be a suitable candidate? Why do you want to go to the States, and what do you have to offer? So it isn't an application that you can just throw together very quickly in the space of a few minutes. You know, there are a lot of essays involved, there's a lot of reflection involved, personal statements. So it's an application process that you take your time with, and that you do over a period of time. That's what I found was the best, that I left it aside, came back to it, thought a little more about why I wanted to do this or what I had to offer. And I think that's the best way of putting it together, really. Yes, well, it's certainly a chance you are taking. You don't know where you're going to end up in the States. And if you're somebody who particularly wants to be in a certain place and isn't happy to go anywhere, then it might be quite difficult to take that initial step to apply. But I wasn't too worried about where I was going to end up. I knew that being in the States, anywhere I'd be in the States would be great, that, you know, I would gain an awful lot of experience. You develop new skills, meet new people, see new places.
For the application process, I actually wrote down that I would like to study subjects such as sign language, because I thought that it is another language, but it's a totally new form of communication, and I thought it would be really interesting. Unfortunately, it wasn't offered in my college last semester, so I'm hoping to do it this coming semester. I have to do 2 modules per semester, but in my own college I'm actually auditing instead of crediting, so that takes the pressure off for exams. You don't have to sit through the exams, but you're still expected to attend and participate and do the homework and make the effort. In terms of teaching in the US, it's been absolutely amazing. I've gained a wide variety of experience, more than I ever thought that I was going to gain when I was applying, or even when I found out that I was going to be in New York. I'm teaching 5 classes in 3 different colleges, and I'm also teaching in class to small children in the community centre on Saturdays, which is very interesting. And the small children especially, they love coming to the class, and we do colouring and enter Christmas card competitions, and we play games, and they're having a great time. And I really enjoy even getting up on my Saturday mornings to teach the class, because it's so much fun, and it's lovely to see the interest as well.
The role of the FLTA is quite, I suppose, multifaceted in many ways. Your primary role is that of a teacher, a language teacher. You are teaching Irish language classes with the Department of Irish in Notre Dame, people from first year right up to PhD students. So it's quite varied. The dynamic is quite tricky in the classes, so it's quite hard to gauge that at the beginning, but it's a great experience to have such a varied student profile. As well as that, you're a cultural ambassador, of course. You know, you have to promote Irish language and culture outside of the classroom as well, be that through, culture nights, film nights, food events or being present at academic lectures that might be taking place?
Well, the role of a cultural ambassador is huge. The language teaching, of course, is in college. You do your 20 hours a week, you do a lot of preparation, you donate extra time, you give the students extra classes because you really want them to love Irish, and the more easy that they find the classes, the more that they're going to enjoy it and the more they're going to come back and spread the positive word about learning Irish in university. So you do dedicate a lot of time, but the cultural ambassador role is 24/7.
So it's a package in a sense. You're not going out there simply just to teach. You have to be aware that there is a lot involved, that you are there representing Ireland, and you're expected to promote everything Irish, all that is Irish, in whatever way you possibly can. A lot of orientations that took place. We met up at Washington DC for a kind of a Christmas orientation, which was wonderful. That was all the FLTAs from all countries met together in Washington DC at Christmas, so that was fantastic. And then just as a small group ourselves, the Irish FLTAs, we made an effort to meet up, to go to each other's host institutions, to see the areas that people were in, to see what they were doing, and just to compare notes, to help each other out. I think it's important to do that you have to remember you're going over to the States as a group as well, as a group of FLTAs, and you have to support each other, and the more you do, the more you gain from the experience, I think.
The Fulbright FLTA programme really does help to break down some of these cultural boundaries and some of the walls that people sometimes put up just out of pure lack of exposure. I now have friends from Africa and from different Arab countries, and I know things about their cultures and their languages, and that I would never have learned without this experience.